Tier 2 subs and $7 a month patrons have Sound Command access. And if somebody starts funding the Patreon halfway through a stream, you need to tell me. I don't check my email till after. Tier 2s and Tier 3s get it automatically. Tier 3s also get a custom one, but they usually need to remind me because I generally forget. And it's gotten kind of hard to keep track of y'all. I'll have you know that I cut the VOD again, so no being naughty for another 5 minutes. I know YouTube claims they don't demonetize people anymore for saying naughty words, but based on my video's monetization status as of late, I kind of disagree with that. Maybe they don't care so much about certain words that rhyme with fire truck, but you know. Although completely unrelated to fire trucks. I'll have you know that over on my merch store, I have a limited edition t-shirt for sale. It's kind of expensive, but it's pretty cool, I think. It's this Crypt Brewing shirt. On the back, it's got this cool coffin logo. And it's only going to be for sale until the last day of this month. And as you can see down here, it's Pi Day currently. It's the 14th. You have until the 31st to pick this thing up at midnight my time. I don't care about your regional times, so technically until the 1st for some of you. Yeah, if you want a little idea of what it looks like, it looks something like this. It's 100% cotton and very stretchy. It's really quite comfortable, actually. Genuinely. Back to the usual programming. Oh, I know. Oh, I know. Which is why a bunch of my videos got demonetized for me saying words, or not demonetized, but like had ad monetization removed for talking about the graveyard in somebody's community fort. I have 2 portal tats. I have an aperture and a exclamation point tattoo to see the other one, but it's quite old and needs updating. Exclamation point merch in chat is where you get shirt. So I'm under the assumption that the lighter color is better once again. Or actually, maybe the... It's kind of hard to say. I guess I could, like, cut out a chunk here and just take a look. Nah, they're more orcs. You can call them whatever you want. But, I don't know. To me, orcs were always kind of pig-like. The kind of, like, more green orcs just kind of always felt a little weird to me. Looks like it's worse. I don't know. Where are you seeing that indicator? Because I'm not seeing it. I mean, I'm not seeing any productivity differences. Guess that area there would be real good then. I wonder if it'll let me do this. Okay, yeah, they're not connected, so it won't let me do that. That's an interesting concept of sweet water. Also kind of strange that it doesn't tell me the amount of fish that would be in this water. Alright, well. We also need to gather some of the stuff that's out here. How's the money doing? Still pretty not great. Could also start farming cotton. I don't know, I'm not storing it anywhere right now, but I know I have some. I mean, yeah, it depends on the type of fish. Shellfish, for sure. Yeah, this rations situation is kind of a big deal right now. Well, at least that's a good amount of wood that we're selling. I mean, there's also, like, you know, straight up fish that just will, like, crawl up on land if they get strong enough. By sheer force of will. This is a fact that I learned from the documentary called Dwarf Fortress. It's a very accurate simulation of real life, so I have to believe everything that happens in it. Frankly, it's probably a more trustworthy source of scientific information than many people on the internet. Oh god, I completely forgot about Meeple Station. Fuck me. Meeple Station was such a weird game because that developer, like, made and released, like, 6 games that year and then just stopped developing and abandoned, like, 5 of them. It was very weird. Especially from, like, the perspective of somebody who covers games, because it's like, oh, hey, this looks neat. Oh, hey, I recognize this developer, followed by, oh, hey, this looks neat. Oh, wait, what? It's the same developer, followed by, oh, hey, this looks neat. Wait, what? It's another one from the same people? What the fuck's going on over there? And they all, like, had Kickstarters around the same time, and they all went into early access around the same time. It's very odd. And then one of them sold really well, and they abandoned the rest of them. It was bizarre. Meeple Station was just one of them. The other one was, like, a third-person spaceship combat something. It was very odd. It was kind of like they just had a bunch of ideas and then, like, halfway developed 5 of them and just to see if any of them would stick, and then just, like, ran with the one that did. Like, maybe that's a business model. I don't know. It's kind of odd to me personally, but All right, so I'm just going to make my life a little easy right now. I'm going to import a bunch of bread. I don't have anywhere to put it right now, so I will lower down the amount of meats. We'll add in some space for bread. We're just going to import a bunch of bread and see if we can get any inbound. We're going to keep exporting wood, and we're going to import some bread. Because this will give us food variety and also give us food. I hope you had a good stream, Claiborne. All right, let's just do something like this. This is probably also going to cannibalize the fertility of the rest of the area, but that's fine. Wait, for this game? Or for Dwarf Fortress? Oh, DF. Yeah, that makes sense. I knew this would happen. Yeah, I knew that would happen. When I heard that Dwarf Fortress wasn't going to be launching into early access, I knew they would get reviews like that. Because, unfortunately, there are some people that are just, like... Entitled is the wrong word. There are some people that... And, like, this is the same reason why I get really annoyed whenever people are like... This game launched and is incomplete, regardless of if it's like a game that's perpetually in development or not. It's like a game is complete when the developer says it's complete. And if a developer says that a game is in a state that they are willing to sell and they consider it to be playable, they do not need to launch it into early access. But there's just... I don't know. Steam has just like allowed this community of backseat developers to foster, or fester is maybe even a better word to use. To a point now where just, if certain people decide that your game isn't finished, you're just going to get a lot of reviews like that. And Dwarf Fortress has been getting more and more and more of them. And it sucks because all it really means is that Dwarf Fortress is probably going to lose its, it's probably going to lose its overwhelmingly positive review score pretty soon. If not pretty soon, then maybe in the next 6 months, I think it'll lose it. There's really nothing that the old school community can do about it. It's like, we knew what we bought. We were expecting that. Some people, I don't know, were delirious, I suppose, and thought that this would be some sort of 1.0 version of Dwarf Fortress because it's releasing on Steam with graphics or something, but like that's just not the case. So I don't know. It's weird. I don't like it. Yeah, I mean, like, there's definitely, like, a way that you could look at... Well, I mean, like, as an example, right? There is a tweet from NoClip, the guys that do video game documentaries, because they just filmed with Zach and Tarn, and they're working on a Dwarf Fortress one, which I'm looking forward to. I hope it's better than the last interview they did. It would be really cool if they, like, asked me for footage. I'm right here. I will take a week off streaming and just record shit for you. You just gotta ask, guys. Anyway, they won't ask. But they just recorded with Zach and Tarn, and one of the first tweet responses I saw to their tweet on it was just, "You better document their inability to bug fix." And it's like, if you've been playing the game for a decade, and this is very gatekeepy, if you've been playing the game for a decade, and you're annoyed that insert bug that's been in the game for a decade is still in the game, I hear you and I get you and I understand you. If you've been playing the game since release and you're annoyed at a bug, especially if they're one that's new to the release. Number one, there's probably bugs in this version of the game that you're not even aware of because you don't even consider them bugs, like doors not working properly. So maybe just research the product before you buy it. I am alive, yes. I hope. Are you, Al? I mean, we were down to 88 briefly. We went back up to 90, which is nice to see, but... and get more good reviews for it. I think Dwarf Fortress is going to be one of those games that slowly lingers off into oblivion just because of the speed that it develops until adventure mode hits. And then it'll spike back up into popularity briefly, and then it'll vanish off into oblivion again. I can't buy slavers because the majority of my populace hates slaves, so I'm gonna have to completely ignore these guys. Did I buy bread? My money disappeared. Oh, I've got 1,500 bread inbound. Booyah! That's what we needed. Fuck yeah. Let's go. And I've also got this massive amount of wood that's been hacked down. Hello, Lightning Roger. Just pardon my rust. I haven't played this game in a while. A lot of stuff has changed. There wasn't snowfall that piled up like this the last time I played. To have done by the day's end and mostly just hanging out. Sounds like a pretty solid day. There we go. Look at all that bread. That's what we needed. I think I'm going to need to make more space for the bread. Oh, no, actually, we can store up to 2,295. That's going to help the general mood and opinion in here. We can continue exporting our wood and import a ton of bread. Look at all that bread. Exactly what we needed. The amount of food we have per day is just going to completely skyrocket now. You know, I never actually thought about that, but yeah, it does. They do kind of have like that GTA 1 like brick shoulders, don't they? Makes me kind of imagine that a medieval GTA 1 would be kind of baller, actually. That would slap pretty hard. I'd be here for it. I know that there was that game that came out not so long ago called Rustler, which is sort of trying to be that, but kind of didn't do a very good job. Yeah, but like, it didn't... I want it to look like this, you know? Oh, fuck, what? Did anybody here play Shakedown Hawaii? I don't think anybody did, because that game was like an Epic Games Store exclusive back when everybody hated Epic Games Store exclusives and people didn't even like look at the games that were free on Epic. Anyway, Shakedown Hawaii was like a modern take on a classic GTA style game, like right down to the visual flair and everything. Let's remove some water across here so I can just build a road across. just doesn't exist anymore, but I do grab free games from there, so you've evolved a little. Yeah, I don't know. I don't like games that are exclusive to any platform, and I think games should be exclusive on all platforms, and it sucks that so many games are exclusive to Steam. You know? That is my take. It's not the most popular take, because some people believe that for some reason, just because it's on Steam, it's not exclusive, which is very much not the case. A lot of games are absolutely Steam exclusives. Also, if anybody's like sad that they're missing the super chill vibes of this video game, these will be going up on YubTubs as well, just like the normal Dorfort VODs. Although I do need to think of a name for this series, maybe Derusting or something. Derusting the Songs of Six. Also, I had to try real hard today to not just title the stream, "It's been 6 days since I played this game," which is not true. It's been a lot more than 6 days since I played this game, but it's been like a year-ish. Yeah, Steam exclusivity doesn't seem bad because of platform biases, because you're already there. Heidi, 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 ho. Heedy, 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 he. My brain is poisoned with that. I can't read Heidi Ho without immediately going full Heidi, 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 ho. But what's up, dude? You haven't seen this one before? It's kind of like Pharaoh on steroids. Also made by a crazy solo developer. It's like if you took RimWorld, Pharaoh, Total War, Dungeon Keeper, a little bit of Dorfort, and just kind of went squish, squelch, scrunch, all together into one big thing. You have massive maps, nosy levels, but massive maps to play on. Like, I've been playing for, I don't know, 3 hours. Kind of got this tiny little town down here with not much going on. We've got this big old valley thing with, like, these beautiful rivers going through the middle of it. Doing a little bit of irrigating and farming with my vegetarian orcs and a couple dwarves. I literally mean a couple. There's 3 of them in the city right now. And then if you go to the overworld, well, I can't because I'm saving. If you go to the overworld, you then get to see the scale and size of this ludicrously large map, which can be just like a full-on like international conquest thing if you want, but you do fight with your citizens. It's a game all about just massive, 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 stupid, big, massive, massive scale. The first couple of unlocks are like have like 100 people, have like 200 people, have like 400 people, and then after a while it's like have 7,000 people, have 13,000 people, have 10,000 people is the last big unlock. I shouldn't say 20,000 because that's like inaccurate, but like the last major unlock is being an emperor with 10,000 subjects. So it's very much a very, 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 very large scale city builder. With a little bit of individuality between the individual dudes, but not that much. But it's a very chill vibes, but also high stress anxiety game when it feels like it. The combat is like kind of boiled down high stress Total War combat, which I'm not the biggest fan of, but is pretty cool when it happens and you get to see it, especially when all your dudes die and then you cry. I mostly just cry. Also, when you get attacked, you can just like throw money at their face and they fuck off usually. It's a pretty cool little game. Yeah, we veggie orcs. That's what we are right now, Cormacker. The funny thing is, like, Valve is also, like, asininely cheap towards developers and give them a shitty cut. It's like, if you actually, like, man, it's mean when I say this. If you genuinely care about the developers of the games that you like, you will not care about what storefront they sell their games on and tell them to sell on the storefront that will make them the most money. Which is why so many games released as, like, an Epic exclusive for a year, because Epic throws a buttload of front-end cash at them, and then after that, you then, like, go to other platforms, right? It's like, I don't know, I like developers, and if I like a game enough, I don't care where they sell it. Like, I can't wait for Brigador Killer's demo to launch this summer on itch, so that I can buy that itch exclusive goodness. And after, like, I don't know, 6 months to a year of development, buy the Steam Early Access a second time and not redeem my Steam key so I can give them money twice. Oh, no, I mean, it's not a good storefront. I don't disagree with you, but, like, there are lots of bad storefronts out there that I've bought games on because that's where the developers got paid the most to put the game, right? No, I completely agree with you. Epic sucks. But you know what sucks more than Epic? No competition in monopolies. And sorry, good old games, you ain't competition, and itch isn't even trying, so someone has to. Right? New RimWorld? Ah, it's nothing like RimWorld. Too large scale to be RimWorld. I've got 230 people. Also, this game's been out for, what, like 2 years in early access now? Yeah, no, I care about developers. I don't give a fuck where they sell their games. You know what storefront sucks? Walmart. A lot of people sell their shit at Walmart because people buy stuff from Walmart. You know what sucks? Valve. You know what also sucks? Steam. But everybody already is on Steam, so you put your game on Steam. There's a reason nobody's a good old games exclusive. It's because there's nobody buying games there. Except for a bunch of manacled fogies like me. What was I building? I was going to build a thing. I had a thing I needed to build, but then I just didn't. Food's doing great, though, so that's good. We should double up our food storage. That's actually what I should do. Not what I was going to do, but it's what I'm doing now. I like that the ground is greening up around where I'm irrigating. Look at that. That's cool. Since I have the leeway from the bread stockpile that I have right now, I'm going to use that as an opportunity to plant more farms. But genuinely, for me, if I could have my storefront, if I could have all of my games on the storefronts that I like, I would gladly only ever buy games from itch.io and Steam from here on out. But it's just not always the best value to developers. So. And I think that Steam exclusivity sucks just as much as any platform exclusivity. Keeping an eye on my number of workers. We got 56 open worker slots right now, so. Can't remember. Is this gonna save the same settings I had on that one? Oh yeah, no, Steam Workshop making modding better is such a farce, it's not even funny. Yes, but how many mod developers are going to just go upload their mods to multiple places, right? You know, there was actually like a pretty big problem in the RimWorld community for a while there for people who had non-Steam codes for the game, for people who had the DRM free copies, not being able to get a lot of mods because people stopped putting them on the forums after a while. There's some very real concerns in the Dwarf Fortress community for the old guard right now of people who bought the game on itch who haven't redeemed their Steam key or maybe redeemed their Steam key and just would prefer to play Classic, that mods are going to stop showing up on the forums because people just... Well, you put it up on the Steam Workshop, you get 2,500 downloads. You put it up on the forums and you get 20, right? Where are you more likely to put your mod? Are you going to bother uploading it to both? Do you even know that you can? Like, how many modders are out there modding games right now that don't realize that that game has a built-in forum with a built-in community where you can upload mods? So, sure, it's not Steam preventing them, but yes, it's Steam preventing them. Because at the end of the day, you know, very few modders are actually... man, this is very judgmental of me. Very few modders are actually in it because they just love the game, right? These days, what ends up happening is you see modders that have Patreon backings, that have communities of their own, that are making financial benefits off of developing mods for games. Like, yeah, there are some people out there who just do it as a hobby for funsies. But a large portion, especially the modders that you see on Steam with these large download counts, are doing it because they're trying to profit or learn game development or try and get into game dev in some way, right? And you're going to go where the traffic is. You're going to go where it's harder to steal your mod. And if Steam Workshop has automatic DRM built in, even if it's just slight and a little bit. Dwarf Fortress is DRM free on Steam. Like, I actually have 5 installs of Dwarf Fortress, all from Steam. I literally just, like, copy the game directory and paste it. Like, there was somebody who was bragging about pirating it in my YouTube comments, which is hysterical to me, because it's, like, literally all you need to do is just, like, copy the folder and send it to somebody. Like, it's like, cool, you're the lowest effort pirate I've ever seen. So I could bring in a bunch of new dudes, but I kind of just want to wait until after this harvest is done and all these are planted. You know what, screw it, let's bring them in. Let's also bring in the couple extra dwarfs. This is my job, though, Levered. It takes a real skill to pirate a free game, and it takes a real skill and a lot of balls to pirate a free game and then brag about it. It was under the comment section of that poll that I put up, which was, which version of the game are you playing? Where I was just kind of like fishing around, kind of curious. I was like, how many people watching me are playing like an older version or classic or something? Turns out it's like 88% or something are playing Steam. Small percentage are playing older versions. It's like less than 1% are playing current classic. And there was one person who was like, I pirated the game and will not give them money until they fix the bugs. I was like, okay. Good for you, little child. I mean, like, go ahead. Like, more power to you. Who cares? But, like, also, wow, man. That users choose en masse because it's convenient and it treats them well, not one where users have no choice. Think about it this way. You'd rather have one that users choose en masse because it's convenient and treats them well. What if it pays the developers a crappy cut that they could very much afford to pay the developers a better cut, and certain studios that you enjoy have financial troubles because they didn't get 10 or 20% more on their sales? Like, I like niche weird games, right? And I like niche weird games that can exist because of storefronts like Steam. But I also like niche weird games that are never going to sell a lot of copies. I like niche weird games that are not designed to be commercially viable. And I think that the better that the better that a storefront treats the users of the storefront is important, but also the people who are selling things on the storefront itself is also important. So I think to a degree, especially as somebody who likes, games like Caves of Cud, I really wish that, Brian and crew could go make, even if it's just an extra couple bucks a sale. Because those sales matter a lot more. I mean, obviously it doesn't fucking matter to, like, Activision and Call of Duty all that much. But, like, and it doesn't matter for, even people like Paradox as much who are selling copies hand over fist. But, or even something like RimWorld. But for, smaller games, to me, that is massive. Yeah, exactly, Stromoko. And that's why, you know, Dwarf Fortress has sold, I think, like 5,000 copies on itch and like 500,000 copies on Steam, right? So, you know, it doesn't matter. But like at the same time, I do wish Steam treated its developers better. And currently, it's an easy storefront to use. It's easy to sell your game. But that's about where their kindness and convenience for developers ends. For a game that's a big meanie and killing you in your first zone? Yeah, I mean, it's doing just fine, but wouldn't it be nice if they could hire another programmer, you know? I'm just arguing that Steam is the best option for the consumer, generally, but it's far and away the best option for developers, generally. They won't, because they're a privately owned company that has no interest in selling, that has also very little interest in expanding and just wants to keep printing money. Ben, thank you very much for the 3rd month. No, they would have to be interested in exponential growth for that, and they're much more interested in exponential gambling. And also, like, I fucking hate Valve, by the way. Like, I love some of the games they made in the past, which is why I have multiple Portal tattoos. And want Half-Life tattoos. But I fucking hate Valve as a company. I think Valve is an awful fucking company. Genuinely. Because of their open promotion and blatant disregard for the safety and health of their customers in their, like, desire and need to promote fucking illicit gambling rings underneath the marketplaces that their own games maintain. And that shit's just gross. Like, just fat. Like, that my opinion will never change on that. That's 90% fertility. Hot damn. Curious about what this one's going to end up with. And I'm going to make another tailor right next to this. We're going to copy this tailor. And we're going to get it working off of cotton. But anyway, like, I'm basically done with my rant on that. That's just... I don't care about... I'm not a prude. I don't care about Steam selling porn as long as I can completely disable it and not have to see it, which I can very easily do with 2 clicks. Steam selling porn is not even a remote concern for me. Steam selling porn that includes stolen artwork, that kind of sucks. They should definitely work on clamping down on that shit. But Steam selling porn? No, fucking sell all the porn they want. Who cares? It's porn. Nothing wrong with porn. Anyway, speaking of money and value, you should check out my merch. No, I'm done. Do that again. Twitch doesn't sell porn. Okay, Twitch sells people who promote their porn. There's a big difference. Unless you consider ladies in bikinis porn, in which case, I'm sorry that you're from, like, such a prudish, traditionalist country or place or family where you believe that women aren't allowed to show their bodies in the great year 2023. And if somebody happens to be very physically or visually attractive, fucking more power to them. Braver than I am. I'll keep my clothes on, thanks. But if somebody wants to make that kind of content, fuck if I care. So no, Twitch doesn't sell porn. No, I didn't. I watched a bunch of an old friend of mine stream it, and was like, nah. I kind of basically everything that game was doing, and was like, this seems needlessly, like, fiddly and not in a way that I really want to play. And it's not a mythology that I think is interesting. Nothing particularly against it. It's just, I don't know, never really had much interest in it. Visually, not digitally. Visually attractive. Physically, aesthetically pleasing. How else can I say this without saying sexy? Christ. Like, just work with me here. You know what I mean, I think. That or you misheard me. That or I misspoke. I don't know. I slept for 2 hours last night. Wait, what? Oh, new pack came out, and within 24 hours, someone released a mod that unlocked premium content. People have mod folders that take up half their laptop storage. For wait, what? For what game? What are we talking about? Why? Because it's Tuesday afternoon, I think. Tuesday evening into Wednesday morning is when they do server maintenance. So Steam will periodically randomly go offline. That or they're just getting DDoSed. Yeah, well, so here's the thing, right? I'm much more comfortable with Twitch allowing women to flaunt their bodies than I am with Twitch allowing gambling. All right, so if we want to, like, attack Twitch for something, let's attack them for promoting gambling to minors, right? But going after people being physically attractive and using that to sell content in the current year is just... it's just the wrong tree for so many reasons to bark at. Like, it's just not worth it. It's like, yeah, sure, like, if you really nitpick, you can, like, poke holes and find problems. Which, yeah, makes sense. But also... bruh, pick better battles. Like, I don't know. That's just not one that's worth fighting. Like, if someone wants to sit in a fucking hot tub in a bikini and, like, dry hump a fucking rubber duck inflatable, you know, honestly, keep your pants on. I don't care. Like, if someone actually wants to watch that shit, there are much more insidious sites that you could go to for exactly the same kind of content that's significantly more credit card grabby, right? Except they actually take their pants off. So, you know, frankly, like, fucking who cares? That's where I draw the line. Fucking who cares? I could go to the club up the street and go see naked people if I really wanted to. What are we? Fucking Catholics? I'm not. I don't care what people do with their bodies. You know, like, it's sort of like, okay, if Twitch added a section for smoking tobacco, I would be just as annoyed as I am with gambling. Like, here's something that's just blatantly addictive and bad for you. But Twitch also allows me to smoke weed on stream, so. What exactly is this promoting gambling? Go to Twitch and type in slots. Or go to Twitch and type in poker. It's gotten particularly bad. And then gotten better, and then gotten worse again, and then gotten better, and then gotten worse. Like, I was initially talking about, like, Valve and, like, crates and that sort of stuff, but we kind of blend into this. I mean, Roblox straight up just shouldn't exist. Like, my hot take, Roblox shouldn't exist. But you know what also shouldn't exist? Fucking lots of things in the world. But... neither do I, Livered. And the artifact directory? Okay, no, that was nothing but gold, Bob. I'll have you know, absolute gold. The artifact directory, okay? This is genuinely wonderful. So TNT is like a Korean/Japanese market here. so. Oh, do I have to make a tailor now? Hold up. No, I have to make a weaver. That's what I need. Okay. Let's just hope that they don't need metal or anything silly. Okay, that just uses more wood that we can deal with. In an eerie glowing pit? That would be unexisting, though. You know you show love for 101, but genuinely fuck King's Isle for adding packs, premium loot boxes, and promoting them so aggressively to children over the years. I mean, that would just be like enough reason for me to stop playing the game and never play it again. You know, I jokingly said this once, but if Tarn and Zach Adams added loot boxes of any sort to Dwarf Fortress, I would uninstall the game and never play it again. I'm not joking. And it's not because, like, I actually hate loot boxes that much. It's because I myself am, like, a sucker for that kind of marketing and am incapable of not spending dumb amounts of money on them, even though I know how they work, what they're supposed to do, the kind of manipulation there. It's like, I am that kind of person. And because I'm weak to that sort of stuff, I viscerally hate it, and it ruins games instantly for me. Even if it's just a progression mechanic and there's no way to actually buy them in the game. Those aren't loot boxes, those are dice, completely different. Shush you. And those chests with items in them, those are drops. Completely different. I don't consider those loot boxes of that sort, though. Roblox or parents who let their kids play it? Which one is more evil? I think if the parents don't realize what their kids are playing, I don't think the parents are at fault. I think who is at fault are the parents who know what it is and let their kids play it. I think the parent has to be, like, aware of it before the parent can be blamed for that, because that's just not fair. Right. I do that, and now suddenly I've got homeless again. Problem is they're going to want to stay in this area. And then I think I will put a set of like 3 longhouses up here. That's what I'll do. And we just need more work around this area and more work around here, and we should be okay. Although maybe I should put the dwarves up there on that one. That's awful, Stro. Yeah, but bins with loot in a questing, like, RPG is not what I, like, define as a loot box. You know exactly what I mean when I define loot box, right? Like, when I say a monetizable loot box item, like, as an example, when it first launched, the most recent Trials game, Trials Rivals, had loot boxes in it. They didn't show them to you or surface them for the first 5 hours of the game, and there was no way to purchase them, and you would get random clothing items out of them. And I didn't know those were in the game until I'd played the game for a good chunk of hours, and then suddenly it was just like, out of nowhere, oh, this exists. Well, brilliant. I never want to play this game again. And I just, like, stopped playing, even though there was no way to buy them. They added ways to buy them, like, way afterwards. But that was enough to just instantly, completely ruin the game for me. All right, so you are a warehouse. Let's move clothing. Let's move furniture down. Let's move that down. Let's increase clothing stockpiles and cloth. We got 31 people unhoused currently. Well, I kind of love that this house is currently, like, not owned by anybody yet there's, like, people just sleeping in it already. It's technically not actually a setup house just yet. This should hopefully help. Rocket League had to do a hard pivot because they essentially had monetized gambling in their boxes, but they had succeeded in removing them and changed their model. Rocket League also, like, their business model now is being, like, a method of getting people into the Epic Game Store and less of, like, keeping a business afloat because they got bought by Epic Games. So I don't know if that's necessarily the best example. Because who knows what their morals and or goals as a studio would have been had their number one priority been keep these employees that we have employed instead of, you know, making as much money as possible. You over here, you're going to export furniture. You're going to stop exporting wood. I'm going to go hack down a bunch more trees. Also, trees grow back, by the way, so we don't have to worry so much about that. Looks like we're getting a bunch of furniture for sale. I bought it, peanut butter, ages ago. Played about 4 hours off stream and realized how restrictive that game is based on the way its XP system works, and kind of dropped the game and never looked back. Maybe one day I'll go back, but I don't like games that's just like, You, player, use a guide or you're fucked. That's not fun, so. I like creativity in my RPGs. That game just seems so rigid. I mean, maybe I got the wrong read on it, but... Also, chat, what do you guys think of the newish lighting? My face actually has color to it now. Kind of weird. By the way, the new lighting, very advanced. I set this monitor to tall mode instead of wide mode, like that. So it's tall mode now. So I look less pasty white. Because there's more white on that monitor. How's the water system work? Visually, it looks like tilers are just river or not river. When you extend water to it, they gain fertility, unless it's just rock, from what I can tell. But I don't know. The water system's kind of new, like stuff changing colors visually. But you can like dam stuff, and the river keeps flowing. I think. I don't exactly know, because the water all seems to just flow in one direction, kind of regardless of where it's going. So I don't know. It's getting worked on. But if you actually go into the dig canal button, you can see the water table. So the 1,921 tiles. That's the number of tiles I can dig out before the water table just crashes and breaks. And when it crashes, then you can't dig out any more tiles. You have to start filling tiles. So you have a limited amount of water on the water table for every time you go and, you know, dig, basically. Kinda want to just import some more bread. An accident has occurred. Oh no! Well, we certainly don't have a hospital, so I hope that you'll be okay. And if you won't be, well, I'm sorry for your loss, I suppose. Although I should actually import some tools now that I have money. Tools expensive. The fuck happened? Good question. Probably an organized incident to get some time off work, if I had to bet. Oh no, one person died. Well, that's a shame. Sounds like a roof collapsing. Something like that, yeah. That or maybe a stampede in the Oroch pasture? That thing. Oroch pasture bedtime. Oh, one of these is just, like, not doing the thing I need you to do. Oh, no! Protection, fine. I'll give you the money. Do I really need to, like, unlock a technology for clothing? Man, that's goofy. I'm not a huge fan of that. All right, well, I guess instead I will make my laddies happier by giving them clothing or giving them cloth fabric for right now. You access. There you go. That'll hopefully increase their general happiness and loyalty by letting them take all of the cloth and just go stick it into their houses. Now you're going to see little blankies appearing and such. And I need to go back to just selling wood and not furniture because, well, thought people buy it. That and I got tons of wood lying around, so. By doing educational trivia puzzles? That sounds like the most grade school game thing I've ever heard. What kind of music do I enjoy mostly? I couldn't tell you a 5 top album rank because that changes pretty frequently, but recently I've been very much well, actually, the past few years, if I were to just point at, that's probably my favorite album. It's probably Inlet by Hum. Has kind of been my most listened to album since it came out. Recently in my heavy rotation have been Close But No Cigar by Delvon Lamar Organ Trio. Shadow Work by Mammal Hands. And I'm going to throw in a curveball at the end of this. Music Deserves the Right to Children by Boards of Canada. And whatever Suicide Commando album happens to come up on shuffle next. I need to actually go look at the name of the album that I've been listening to a lot by Suicide Commando because there's a billion of them and they all sound the same. Suicide Commando. No. I don't know, however the fuck you pronounce this shit. Because that album just slaps so fucking hard. It's so bad, but it's the best shit. Like, it's awful, but I can listen to that shit all day. I mean, I listen to, like, quite a lot of shoegaze, so... What's wrong with shirts? Suddenly all my merch should be obsolete. I dislike this, like, anti-t-shirt agenda that you are pushing, Lyagushka. I feel like it is directly designed to attack my profits and my bottom line. Thus, I reject it and dislike it. If you want to escape this, you must go to the one place that is not corrupted by capitalism. Fucking not space anymore because Elon's there. Make togas then? No, you make t-shirts, you friggin' anti-t-shirt weirdo. Act like, no, also genuinely, no. Jokes aside, nah, I'd rather just wear shirts and jeans. We could do away with fast fashion and I'd be totally cool with that, but I'm keeping my, I'm keeping my, my t-shirts and jeans until the day I die. I've literally heard that album. Peanut butter. Oh no, another plague is broken out. Anyway. But it's been a long time, so I don't have direct, like, comments on it. But yes, I have heard that album before. This person is deranged, meaning they're just, like, hanging out here and sticking their head in the dirt. But yes, I have heard that album before. But I'm unfortunately not directly looking for music recommendations, and also music recommendations in chat are completely lost because I'm not going to go tab out and search for them and I will forget in 40 minutes. You want me to actually look at music, join the Discord and go to the music section and plop it in there and maybe I'll look at it if I feel like it. Otherwise, I won't, and that's that. But, oh yeah, another band I've been listening to a lot recently is Blackwater Holy Light. I get to go see in 2 weeks. You can now only wear the Vile Force of Darkness mug. Better get real good at tying knots around that package. Many of us will need to get the 16 ounce. But yeah, I don't generally respond too heavily to in chat comments about like music requests because like I will forget and don't have the ability to follow up. So if I openly respond too much, it either just kind of turns into, yep, I've heard that album. Yep, I know that band. Yep, I've heard that album. Or it turns into, okay, I don't know that, but I won't remember it. So the good time to talk about music is at the very beginning of the streams when I have the record player up and I'm actively listening to music. That's the best time to talk about and recommend music. And also the reason Hum's Inlet is my favorite record is because their first 2 records were probably my most listened throughout elementary and high school. Being like, You'd Prefer an Astronaut and then Electra 2000, and then they had one other album which I never remember the name of, which wasn't as good. But I listened to Electra 2000 and You'd Prefer an Astronaut such a stupid amount that like I forgot other music existed at points. And then they put out an album in 2020 and then their drummer passed away like months after the album came out. So I think that album might actually just take my favorite album of all time and never be surpassed. It's like, imagine just like not putting out an album for 21 years and then just quietly releasing a masterpiece and then just like ceasing to be a band. It's like, don't fucking tempt me, Diamond. I might. Should I make a sticker of the Vile Mug? Chat, would you buy a sticker of the Vile Mug of Darkness? I don't think any of you would. Truthfully, I don't think any of you would. I don't think that there's any reason to do that. Oh my god. You know, this should be a series of limited run things where I make a sticker with that's just a screenshot of the mug, right? And then I take a screenshot of the sticker and I put it on a coaster. So it's a screenshot of a sticker with a screenshot of a mug on it on a coaster, right? And then I'll screenshot the... Man, if you are comparing Hum to Typo Negative, I like Typo Negative, but don't you fucking dare. Don't you, disagree. Anyway, so, and then it'll put it on a coaster, and then we'll do it on a water bottle, and then we'll... Also, I do actually have a coaster for sale right now. I quietly dropped it yesterday. Got a little dwarf digging on it. Fourth wall. What? What in the fuck? It's like month 12. What is happening? And then at the very end, after a year, it's like a picture. It's a screenshot of a T-shirt with a screenshot of a coaster with a screenshot of a sticker with a screenshot of a mug on it. And it'll just be called The Vile Force of I Give Up. Or the Vile Force of I don't even fucking know anymore. least they're still buying my wood. Price is going down, though. The vial, this will be like React Inception videos where it's just like people reacting to videos of people reacting to videos of people reacting to videos of people reacting. Although, actually, Pineapple Butter, are you, when you say typo negative, are you referring to the Suicide Commando album I linked, or are you referring to, like, Hum? Because if you're referring to Hum, I'm very offended. If you're referring to Suicide Commando, yeah, that checks out. Suicide Commando sucks. It's just the best kind of suck. Like, they're awful and I hate them, but I listen to all their music. Like, chat, I don't know. Do you have any music that you willingly listen to that you're like, this is awful, but I love it? It's okay. Everything is off topic in this stream right now. You decided to embark near a goblin fort with where the flame wrath demon is. You built a massive army with divine metal and adamantine gear and kept losing. Okay. I feel like this is half of a story. Are you asking me how to defeat the demon? Word, Frozen Tear. As someone who's unwilling... So I've... Fun fact about me. I've seen Nickelback live twice, and I haven't paid to see them live either time. I've just ended up at places where they're performing, so I've seen them play live twice. They're completely fine. They kind of blow, but they're... I don't know. They're perfectly passable-ish. I've definitely heard worse bands perform. So, here's the thing, right? Yes, Isfador, but also maybe not. You said that you kept losing. You need your dwarves to have, like, absolutely maxed out ambushing skill, which is, like, the hardest skill in the game to train. Or one of the harder skills in the game to train. Because you need to be actually attacking things to train it. But the issue is, some of those demons will just be so completely, utterly OP that you might actually not be able to kill them in Fortress mode. That's an adventure mode thing, right? At that point. Because at that point, what you'd need to do is you'd need to find their true name and then go kill them in adventure mode with their true name. Which is like super duper endgame DF spoilies. But like there is a way to kill them in adventure mode. The problem is we only have half the game in Dwarf Fortress on Steam right now, right? That's the actual issue. Which both kind of sucks, but you know, is allowing people to learn the game very well before premium is released on other platforms. And I hate the shitting sound, and I just heard the shitting sound again. All right. But to give you like an example, in a previous fort, in an older world, in an older version of the game, I had this like virtually invincible skunk demon, which had a funny name because their name almost translated to shit in French, which was kind of funny. But this skunk demon would just like completely and totally, utterly fucking decimate anything I would throw at it. Like, did not give a fuck what I tried to throw at it. And like the way we eventually killed it was I gave it to I gave the save file to like the audience and was like, good luck. And somebody was able to kill it in adventure mode. Because that's basically like the only way you're going to be able to kill something like that. Get these critters farming. Do some more housing down here. Let's get a couple more dwarfs in here. A couple more orcs. Missing a couple letters and add in one or two, but it was just kind of fun. Losing is fun after all. My advice to you if you really want to kill that demon is make yourself a bunch of ranger guild halls and then let your soldiers idle in it, because ranger guild halls train ambushing and then attack everything else in the general vicinity and kill them first. Because maybe you'll get lucky. The way the mechanics work for sieging in Dwarfort are a little, not silly, but I wish they were more in depth. They're literally just like 1v1 dice rolls, right? So eventually you might get lucky and get a win in and be able to kill the thing. And I hope that you can, because I think that would be a cool story to tell. God, I love just how big the farm fields in this game got. I love it. Absolutely fantastic, dude. What's up, Gome? How's things? Yes, without adventure mode. It like, we're missing a third of the game right now. I still shake my head when people leave negative reviews for it because of that. Because it's like, well, clearly you didn't do your research before you bought the game, but also, yeah, I get it. This is interesting. Like, farms working at higher capacity because more so people are working in it. Like, this is totally new to me. This game looks so pretty. It's especially pretty when half your people revolt and then there's blood everywhere. This game is gorgeous. I love the way this game looks. I also especially love the way this zoomed out mode looks, because this is new. It used to have different graphics here and it used to be really ugly. It used to be more like this, like these big squares, kind of like this heat map view, but like way grosser looking. Like, it used to just look awful when you'd zoom out like this and be all bright colors, but it looks kind of great now, actually. Like, these weird little triangle mountains underground is also really cool looking. I'm a big fan of that. Yeah, this game's got a lovely look to it. And then when you go out to the overworld and you can like look at like the province that you're in, which is us right here, surrounded by the surrounding provinces and whether or not we're at war with them, and you can see the little armies camping, and holy shit, that's an army of 13,000. Hoi! Bruh, that's an army of 1,200. It's a bit limited on the music, but yeah, it's very good. Army of 11,000. There's an army in boats right now of 2,000. Massive cities of 28,000. And then us with our humble little shack of a town with total population in our district of 32,000. And currently, what, we got 330. Welcome back, El. Yeah, a lot of people say that's like, man, this is like very reminiscent of The Witcher 3. But I don't know. I think it's, I personally haven't listened to enough of The Witcher 3 soundtrack to really say. I don't know. Still selling wood. They only export. Nobody's homeless somehow. 5 are deranged. I'm going to copy this room. Cotton farms expanding. Experience gained. It's just Slavic folk. True, and I guess a lot of people have not heard a lot of Slavic folk. I don't know, I haven't really listened to the Witcher 3 soundtrack. I listened to the Witcher 2 soundtrack for a while there, but... It's definitely one of those types of music where, like, I couldn't, like, name a single group or artist, but I've ended up listening to a lot of it over the years. It's just a nice medievally sounding, well, more Slavic medievally sounding soundtrack. Suits the game. Turn off auto-employ and keep that at the maximum. Same with you. Yeah, you're not going to see the combat very much. I wouldn't call it a mashup between Civ and Dwarf Fortress because it's nothing like Civ and it's almost nothing like Dwarf Fortress. It's like if you took RimWorld and blew it up to a massive scale, removed the vast majority of the part that makes it anything like RimWorld, put in Total War Combat, and then made it kind of like a unique take on a Pharaoh-style city builder. And the only reason I say RimWorld is because of the building style. And the Dungeon Keeper inspiration comes from the fact that you're balancing multiple races that all kind of hate each other for different reasons. Some of them sort of get along, but most of them kind of just hate each other. And if you end up with all of them, they'll all just kind of hate each other. To the point where you'll just have to, like, suddenly enslave one because you're just like, well, you guys don't get along anymore. Like, there is some personality generation, but it's pretty limited. Like, you can kind of get all you need out of it by just hovering over the thing and looking at the yellow text. I think I've stumbled on that one, Presme. That's very familiar. And then the combat is like Total War Combat, but I don't even have a barracks right now to be able to show you it, so... Let's make some nicer apartments. Right there. Some more nicer apartments. Oh, there's bandits, but you can just pay them off. You've always been able to just pay them off, which is all I'm doing right now. Because I don't have any metal industry whatsoever, and I ain't importing weapons. So I will just pay them off. Until I can fight them, which I won't be able to do for a while. I will never include bad games in the comparison of a good game. Renee. Because by that logic, like, every city builder ever made would need the Banished comparison, and Banished is not a good game. So that's a bad example. But there is also faction-on-faction combat, where you can take your armies of 5,000 and go attack an army of 12,000 that's undergeared and then win, if you make it that far. Didn't quite deal with the homelessness. Turns out making expensive apartments doesn't generally deal with the homelessness issue. Kinda... actually really wish one of these wasn't here. It's still decently close-ish. Where's that that toilet that I had? There it is. And let's grab a hearth. Put a nice big one right there. And grab a road. And we could actually just like fill this all in with water. We could just do that. Beachside property. It's where the farmers live and work. What do I think of Crusader Kings? I don't think that Paradox Games need my promotion. That's about it, really. I'm not super interested, to be honest. I think they're doing just fine without me. I promote games that I think need the promotion, that I genuinely love playing. So either I genuinely love playing a game, or I think the game needs the promotion, are the two reasons that I will stream it. And I don't think Paradox Games need my assistance in the slightest. I think they're doing just fine. Whereas I think games like this, you know, how often do you see people streaming this game? Okay, I need to import some more bread. But yeah, I don't really have any thoughts on Crusader Kings because I haven't played Crusader Kings 3. Played Crusader Kings 2 a little bit. It was fine. Not really my thing. What do I still need for that? I need opium. I mean, like, if you want to go watch Crusader Kings, you always have a ton of options, right? And I think that I am in an extremely fortunate position at this point, having fostered an audience for Dwarf Fortress, which is generally a game where, I mean, we're almost back to the way we were pre-launch, right? Where there's like maybe 2 or 3 people streaming, and then it's just me, right? Which kind of sucks. I really wish there was more people streaming Dwarf Fortress, but like that's why I play and stream that game, is because I genuinely care about it, and I hope that it, you know, gets to continue to do its thing. And I think that there's certainly other games out there that I am equally interested in. And I wish more of them got the kind of credit that they deserve. Have other uses. I don't have the opiate farm just yet because I need the technology for it. I'm gonna just quietly start growing grains so that maybe we can make our own bread. We could import coal, perhaps. It's one of those games that does that. It's a hard game to watch. It's even harder to stream. Oh, it's so much easier to stream than it was. God, Dwarf Fortress is so fucking easy to stream now compared to what it was like 2 years ago. God damn. The one that I was playing the other day, Phantom Brigade. Bane. Currently he's streaming DF? Good for him. Wish he would do that more often. Quill tends to get stuck in, you know, massive games that don't really need the promotion. Nothing against him for that. I frankly don't blame him, to be honest with you, but I do wish that he would play games that, you know, needed the coverage more often than, you know, just another Paradox game. And he tends to just kind of get stuck in, you know, just another Paradox game quite frequently, and that kind of bums me out. All right, let's do storage. We're gonna get fishing up and running. Okay, so that requires stone and furniture. Got a small fishing industry up. Well, maybe, I mean, I don't know. I think there's just a lot of games that people are used to streaming, i.e. like Call of Duty, Tarkov, DayZ, Rust, games that have large audiences. People aren't used to having to... Okay, I think where a lot of people's definition of this game is hard to stream comes from. Pretty okay, Hoff. Been better, been worse. Yeah, I know what you mean, Maxwell of well. But anyway, the thing that a lot of people say when they say that a game is hard to stream, it's not that it necessarily is. Like, there's lots of difficult games out there that are also difficult to stream, right? But the thing is, most people that stream difficult games are not also used to having to explain to people, this is what you're looking at, right? I'm used to that. So for me, Dwarf Fortress with its appealing, or more appealing, I guess, tile set, and even games like this are very easy for me to stream because I have an audience that's used to this kind of shit. And it's also really easy for me to just be like, this is cool for this reason. I'm used to explaining gameplay, right? Most people are just used to people knowing that a game is skill reliant and difficult, but already understanding the gameplay. So when people say a game is hard to stream, it's like this even applies for things like Crusader Kings or like Paradox games or even Civ to a degree, is explaining to your audience exactly what they're looking at and why it's interesting. And I think that that makes games that are ASCII and games that are not immediately visually apparent at what you're looking at difficult to stream for a lot of people. I think that because I have an audience that's used to watching games that are difficult to stream, it's a lot easier for me. Yeah, but like as something like, let's just say Tarkov as an example. You don't need to play a single second of Tarkov to understand what that player is doing and why it's interesting, because everybody's played a first-person shooter in their life at some point, right? Or at the very least, even if you haven't played one, you probably, okay, fine, I'll pay up again. You probably know why it's interesting, even if you haven't played one, right? You at the very least understand the basics of what's happening in that image. So I think when people say that like Dwarf Fortress is difficult to stream, I don't necessarily agree that Dwarf Fortress is difficult to stream. But if you're used to playing games that, like, you know, somebody like Arvius, you know, who streams a lot of like XCOM, Long War, and Civ, it's a lot harder for him, or it's a lot easier for him to explain why a game is interesting. He's got an audience that understands why a game is interesting. It's like trying to sell StarCraft to somebody who's never seen StarCraft before, right? Like, that is hard to do. Fortunately, StarCraft is a big popular game. Lots of people have played it. And so lots of people, at the very least, understand the basics of StarCraft. But for Dwarf Fortress, it's a much smaller pool of people to pull from. Now it's a much bigger pool of people, which is why there's 230 people watching me on an average stream, or 250 people watching me on an average stream, versus like 20 to 50, you know? And like, I streamed for years and barely survived being that tiny person that got no views on Dwarf Fortress. But it paid off because I was that tiny person who got no views on Dwarf Fortress for a very, 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 very long time. So when the game finally dropped, I was the one guy that people looked to, right? So I took a big-ass gamble and it paid off eventually. Not many people can afford to do that. I had a supportive audience and got lucky. Very few people get to be in that position. And Lenu, in regards to my thoughts on Phantom Brigade, I don't know, I haven't played enough of it, but I could certainly see how it could become repetitive. I think what I've played of it, which is like 13, 14 hours, it's a really fun, big robot sandbox. I don't know how good of a long-term video game it is, and I can pretty much guarantee you I wouldn't finish a complete playthrough. It paid off? I mean, it's paid off for right now. We'll see how many of you guys are still watching me in 2 years, right? We'll see how many of you guys make it to adventure mode and are still watching me when I go off on little escapades into games like this. You know, we'll see if it pays off. Currently, in the short term, yeah, it's absolutely paid off. But in the long term, it depends on if I can keep your guys' interest around, you know? More ducks on turntables. Oh, trust me, those won't ever go anywhere. As much as the occasional person tunes in and goes, "Where's the game?" Well, I'll say he was very outdated and uninteresting rapper even when he was still performing. That's what I'd say. And with that, we've unlocked a mayor has been bestowed on your name. We can now make human nursery. We can now make nurseries basically for children. We can make army supply depots to defend my town. And that means that we've hit, I think, 350 people. Nope, 400. Yeah. 400 happy people. 400 satisfied people. We also have a massive amount of food supply, which is very good. Hugely in debt because the robbers keep showing up and robbing us, but I think our peaceful little village is off to a great start. You'd give me 2 quarters for that game joke? We'll just keep saving until you have $1. Yep. You know, Factorio's a phenomenal example of a game that took off. Kind of looks lovely. Yeah, aside from the looming bandits that keep, like, emptying out all of our stores and supplies, and the fact that we don't even have alcohol yet, and we're mostly living off of bread, fruits, and veggies, which is pretty good, actually. You could do worse than that. We have 15 dwarves and 390 orcs. Scratch that, 19 dwarves and 390 orcs. I think, chat, I've been streaming for 10 hours, which, believe it or not, is longer than I was expecting to make it today. We're going to save this. I think we're going to call it for the day. You can say goodbye, YouTube, if you would like. Short stream? Only 10 hours, yeah. Well, to be fair, I did start... 2.5, 3 hours early. But yes, short stream. Because I'm tired and would like to go to bed early so that I can start at the normal time tomorrow, you know? It's because you showed up. I mean, it's not like you weren't here all day in the morning, but welcome back, Boreas. Hi, Frog. I'm blind. But, yeah, no, for those of you who missed it since, like, we're through the gameplay portion, before you run off, we are going to raid somebody. So maybe we'll raid... You guys want to raid Quill? We could raid Quill. That could be fun. So, over the weekend, long story short, the reason I just kind of fucking... Like, I was totally planning on streaming on Sunday, but I had a doctor's appointment on Thursday that told me that I needed to go get